Hi, I got my coffee. Let's watch some stuff.
No matter how old you are, they have always told us we only explore 5% of the ocean. That's not true. But it's not that we don't want to explore what's in the ocean or that we don't have the technology. It's because for the majority of the 20th century, all we did was ocean exploration. Because the NACA, aka NASA, which was established in 1915, found things in the ocean that they did not want to return to. But what could it possibly be? Could it be aliens? Could the ocean be another entrance to the hollow earth? Could it be an advanced species? Or could it be dangerous animals that we just do not have enough information on to study? Either way, with the world being made up of 70% water, there's room for everything I just said to be true. But one thing for sure though, there have been a number of UFO reportings recently, especially around the Pacific Ocean. Here I'm going to show y'all video footage from the USS Omaha that was sitting on the coast of California in the Pacific when it encountered a UFO. In this video, you can see the unidentified object floating over the Pacific Ocean moments before it plunges underneath.
Was recorded inside the Omaha's command center just before 11 p.m. on July 15th. The image on the screen shows a 6-foot in diameter sphere that traveled alongside the Omaha for about an hour. It was pitch black outside, so the image was obtained via a thermal sensor. Personnel in the command center made multiple recordings of what was on the screen. At precisely 11 p.m., the unidentified sphere seemingly vanished into the ocean.
Yeah, y'all see how crazy that is? That's not even the worst part. Right after the situation with the first UFO, 14 more UFOs over the course of 3 days were found on a radar surrounding the USS Omaha. I gotta take a look at this.
Over a period of hours, crew members on the USS Omaha, which is located in the center of this radar screen, monitored the approach of the unknown objects, as many as 14 at one point, all around the ship. 2 different radar systems watched the objects and estimated their speed.
Track 781 just sped up to 46 knots, 50 knots, closing in. 138 knots, huh? Fast.
Remember, that's just one incident out of the entire world, and the world is made up of 70% ocean. Then remember who recorded the situation, the Navy. It's small stuff like that that allows you to put the pieces together. Alright, so y'all go ahead and let me know what y'all think in the comments, and also let me know if y'all think that they explore more than 5% of the ocean, or if they only explore 5 and they telling the truth. I'm out.
Now that is an interesting concept, and I never stopped to think about that. When I was in school, they taught us that 5% of the ocean had been explored, and to this day, still, only 5% of the ocean has been explored. It's like we're perpetually exploring the same 5% of the ocean, because governments are constantly telling us where we're allowed to be and where we're not allowed to be. That's why we have our shipping lines and we have our designated fishing areas. There's gotta be so much hidden out there in that 95% of the ocean that they're just not looking at.
There's a location in the Western Sahara Desert of Mauritania called the Richat Structure. It's also commonly referred to as the Eye of the Sahara. And what's so spectacular about this is that it just so happens to match what Plato had described as the lost ancient city of Atlantis. Plato had described Atlantis as made up of concentric circles, 3 of water, 2 of land, which matches the Richat structure. It also is said to have an opening to the sea at the south, and if you look at it from satellite imagery, you can clearly see that water had ran through it. And what people don't realize is that Sahara Africa, up until about 4,500 to 5,000 years ago, was totally green. It was tropical. It had one of the largest networks of rivers ever known to exist. It was said to have mountains to the north, and you just so happen to have mountains called the Atlas mountain chain, but it goes further than that. It turns out that the Sahara Desert is one of the least studied places on Earth.
There's so much that points to that possibly being Atlantis.
I know that there are several locations that are claimed to be the site of the lost city of Atlantis. I like how he uses the description left by Plato to validate this particular location, but then he goes and says hundreds of years ago this used to be a lush forest. I'm willing to bet that thousands of years before that, it was a volcano.
Most people don't know the real reason as to why so many planes crash in the Bermuda Triangle. There's a massive stretch of land in the Atlantic Ocean that stretches from Bermuda to Miami to Puerto Rico, where an extremely high number of planes and ships have been said to mysteriously disappear. Many have been quick to say that sudden changes in weather are to blame, but pilots that have flown in this region have said otherwise. The Bermuda Triangle mystery began when a group of 5 US Navy bombers departed from Fort Lauderdale out into the Bahamas for a routine training flight in 1945. During the mission, the pilots were quickly unable to determine their location as their compasses weren't working properly. The pilots also reported that everything started looking distorted and that they were even entering into white water. The Navy then sent out a rescue aircraft carrying fuel, but 10 minutes into this flight, the rescue aircraft lost communication with the control tower. All 6 military planes with the 14 crew members were never seen again, even as the US sent out naval ships to search for any signs of wreckage. Just 3 years later, a flight carrying 27 passengers disappeared over this region, including many other flights in the following years, all the way up to the most recent disappearance in 2017 when a private jet lost communication at 24,000 feet. Navigating through the Bermuda Triangle is especially difficult because compasses in this region point to the true North Pole rather than the magnetic North Pole, which is located in Canada, where compasses typically point to in other parts of the world. Also, scientists have recently discovered hexagonal-shaped clouds that are unique to the Bermuda Triangle that provide powerful blasts of air, often reaching up to 170 miles per hour. These air blasts are so powerful that they're capable of sinking ships and taking down planes. Other conspiracy theories have included alien activity taking place in this region, but nobody can be for sure as to why this region has been so mysteriously dangerous.
Now, I love a good Bermuda Triangle story, but I can also recognize a coincidence when I see one. If you were to take any other portion of the Earth and only highlight the bad things that happen there without looking at any science or trying to explain anything, yeah, of course that's what you're going to think. That's an easy conclusion to draw. But these phenomena have to be caused by something specific. Earth polarity, the jet stream, unless of course you want to continue thinking that that's part of the 95% of the ocean they don't want you looking at.
Mermaid caught on camera. They are real.
Sometimes I find myself wanting to believe that mermaids are real. Just because that stupid movie that came out years and years ago, that was very obviously fake. But to have part of evolution happen on Earth and part of evolution happen in the water, it would be really cool to see that. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know that it actually does exist, but I kind of want it to.
I'ma find your ass. You watch.
Hey y'all, Myra here. So this video is long, but it is so worth it. I would recommend watching it all the way to the end. These deep sea fishermen recorded 2 unidentified creatures swimming really fast alongside their ship. Not only that, it gets weirder. As he's recording, he starts recording singing. Now, if we believe in the myths and the legends that have been there since the beginning, sailors have gone back hundreds of years stating that they would witness sirens. And the whole goal of a siren was to lure sailors to their death by drowning and eating them. And one way they did it was singing. It's creepy that they capture the singing out in the middle of the ocean. Tell me what you think. Could the legends be true? Like, post, comment, repost, let me know.
I got another one over here. What are those? fuck's going on? On each side of the boat? What are those trails called? What's something swimming fast underneath that water? Something swimming real fast underneath that water. I hear him. Where's she at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's nuts.
All right, hear me out here. I have a theory on this one. He's on a fishing boat, right? Now, I'm not a fisherman, but I've seen fishing boats and they have those big booms, right? Those arms that come out and have things in the water that for stability, right? I think that's what it is because you see them both on the exact same side of the boat. They just go from one side to the other and they're parallel with the boat and they continue running parallel with the boat. So that's what I think that is. I think that's just the stabilizers for the fishing boat. Tell me what you think. Sure, I'm glad you stopped by for today's coffee talk. Maybe you want to hit that subscribe button or check out some of my other videos. Or you could just come back tomorrow because I'm making a new video every single day. Let's watch some more stuff.
Have you ever wondered why the Bermuda Triangle remains one of the world's biggest mysteries? For decades, this infamous stretch of water between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico has been the subject of countless stories about ships and planes that vanished without a trace. Although there are many theories about the causes of these disappearances, no one can say for sure what really happened to all those people and vessels. Some believe that the Bermuda Triangle is home to supernatural forces, including alien abductions and sea monsters. Others argue that the area is cursed, haunted by the ghosts of sailors who died in violent storms centuries ago. Perhaps the most plausible explanation, however, is that the Bermuda Triangle's unusual weather patterns and strong currents make it a dangerous place to navigate, leading to accidents and mishaps. Despite the fact that many of the reported incidents in the Bermuda Triangle can be explained by natural phenomena, the mystery persists. This leads to the question,
Yep, I threw in another Bermuda Triangle video. But this one did touch on some of the phenomena explanations that I had mentioned earlier, while still leaving it open for interpretation. I'd like to find some stories about Bermuda Triangle instances and see if we can break them down or find some explanation as to why these things happened or if they actually happened. And I think that would be a lot of fun. For now, we're going to go ahead and leave this one in there. Now, I've already seen this video before, and I have two ideas of what this could possibly be. I don't know anything about the ocean. I don't even like the ocean, but I think it might have something to do with current. Let me know what you think, if it's anything to do with current, if you're smart, if you know ocean stuff. That'd be great. But my husband says that they had crossed a shipping lane. So there are those big tankers, and they leave those wakes behind them where there's part of it that's choppy and then part of it that's smooth. Now, they started to do a pan all the way around. I can't tell if they went all the way around or if they intentionally left out the ship on one side. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.
This is why exposing the truth is scary.
People who expose the truth.
One of the most amazing things that I had ever seen in the bottom of the ocean. It was while filming for Blue Planets in the Gulf of Mexico. I noticed there's something out in the distance. Couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut. It was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of mussels. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm already underwater. We went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off, and as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane.
No, this is a little sad. Unfortunately, this gentleman did actually lose his life in a helicopter crash. Now, to say it's because he found that particular briny water underneath the water, which is a really cool thing to see, I don't think that's why the helicopter crashed. It's a little bit hokey there, for the simple fact that we continued to send people down and look at it. You'd think if we weren't supposed to know about it, the footage would have never gotten out, let alone multiple other documentaries made in that same spot. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Here's where it's also going to get controversial, perhaps. Cloud seeding is something that I studied in school for meteorology, weather modification. Back when I went to school, it was like, I've poo-pooed a little bit. It was too expensive, it's not efficient enough. Well, guess what? When you get desperate and then technology gets better, 20 years later, here we are. Cloud seeding is ramping up so big. You see me there showing that flare on the plane. They send silver iodide into the clouds, and then it makes it snow more. So they can't make a cloud, right? But they're taking storms that are already there and then giving it a little boost. So this is not, that part's not new. What's new is they have hundreds of these ground cloud seeders. So they're actually puffing the silver iodide with a flare. And you see, I think I have a picture of the actual ground cloud seeder into the air. That thing sits all over the Rocky Mountains, all over the American West. 10 states are doing this. And I wanted to tell this story because my friend Russ is the state climatologist of Colorado. And he said, you got to see what's happening with cloud seeding. It is huge, and it's only getting bigger by next year.
And we know that things can change. We saw it during the pandemic. There was, you know, the waterways in Venice cleared up.
That's right.
We saw what can happen when we're much better respectful of the earth.
Yeah.
Yes, I know this has nothing to do with the ocean, but it is rain, which is water, and here we are on Hydro Hump Day, so I left it in. It's also extremely interesting. I didn't know that this was actually happening. I did see this on the news, that they were doing this in our area. The last time we were supposed to have rain, and they were saying, oh, expect some more rain because we're doing rain seeding. And then watching this just blows me away because it's a type of silver that they're putting into the clouds. Now I remember watching a documentary where this woman was drinking colloidal silver regularly every single day, and when she passed away it had turned her skin blue. Now that is an interesting thing. I wonder if we're gonna start turning blue. I don't know. I don't know if that's the same type of silver or if it's different or if it has a different reaction. I don't know. If you know anything about it, let me know. All right, well, I hit the bottom. See you tomorrow.